Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I am here with another of my Crafty Advent Calendar from Spellbinders wrap-up video where I take a week of goodies from this lovely Advent calendar and I show you the projects that I make with them. Now, I'm not going to unbox them all now because I have been doing that already on my shorts videos, and if you haven't seen those, I will leave a link to the playlist. They're all, about a minute and a half. Some are a little bit longer, some are a little bit shorter. But if you want to check out all the unboxings of each of these items, you can check out that playlist. But for now, we are going to dive in, starting with day 8. I do have a long form video where I did open the first week of day 1 through 7. And we are going to go ahead and start off with day 8. Now, I did not put these tags in order, I don't think. They've been sitting on my cart. So let's go ahead and see how I have been storing all of the goodies as I unbox them from my Advent calendar. So right now, as I'm working on them, I just have these trays that are from scrapbook.com. These particular trays are the lids from their storage bins, which I use to store all my stamps. They do sell what they call, I want to say stack and store trays, but that might be the Spellbinders brand name. I'm not quite sure what they call, but they are like storage trays that they sell, and I believe there's a lidded one that's slightly different dimensions. However, since my storage bins, let me grab one. This is what the storage bins look like. They have the scrapbook.com logo on one side. I believe this is the large size bin. There's a smaller size one, but this is the main size. And I use them for organizing projects on the go. I use them for storing all of my stamp supplies and so on and so forth. But the lids on these do fit on top. They also stack on the bottom. So if you needed to keep this open and have some supplies underneath, you can stack them that way. So this is what I'm using to stay organized during this whole month of it's definitely not live crafting, but I am doing it real time, where on the day I am opening that day's goodie. Since I'm on the west coast of the US, I am later in the day than a lot of people. Plus, I'm not a morning person, so my videos come out a lot later than a lot of other people's do. All right, let's stop talking about me and let's start talking about goodies. So we are starting with day 8, which was this lovely vase and flower stem set. I created this tag with that. Now, there's lots of examples out there using the vase as a vase. So I like to, when I can and when I have the ideas, share kind of other ideas on how you can use the exact same supplies towards something different so that you get more flexibility out of the products that you have. And this works for any product. So go to your stash, look at the shape of the product and not necessarily the imagery of the product, if that distinction makes sense. So anyway, I did go ahead and make a little bouquet with the flowers. There's nothing wrong with using the dies as intended. I absolutely love this vase. This is one of my favorites, I think, in all the days, and I'm looking forward to using that one some more. So that being said, use them as is or mix it up. I like to be as open and creative as we can with our items. So that was day 8. Day number 9. Now these should all go in order. So this is, you have to forgive me, I'm filming this late, so you just got a little sneak peek of some later things. That was the earlier set. So we're looking at these 2 trays really. So day 8, day 9 must be one of these goodies. That was day 11. We'll get to that one. Day 9 is not on there. Okay. I'm feeling challenged. Where's day 9? Oh, day 9. Here we go. Day 9 was sequins. That's why I was having a hard time finding it. So we got these lovely little yellow sequins. And for day 9, I created this disco ball inspired tag. I used the little squiggly from a previous die and then a happy birthday also from previous dies. Again, if you haven't seen my videos, I am trying to use as many of the supplies from just this set of stuff. I'm not pulling out extra stamps or dies or anything like that from my stash, except for my tag bases. And we'll see why I'm making tag bases in a couple minutes if you don't already know. All right, so that was day 9, we just said. So day 10 was this little phrase set, which I believe says just saying hello. And my favorite word in that whole thing is hello. And you'll see how it's my favorite word. So let's find, making sure this is the actual one. All right. So here is something very different from my colorful palette. I have got monochromatic palette. So I've repeat cut the words, and as I've been doing this series, I realize I really like to emphasize the item. And if it's a greeting set, I don't want to just stamp a greeting on the side of an otherwise beautiful card. I want to emphasize that actually item. So to emphasize the greeting, doing repeat die cuts or stamping if it's a stamp, and then emphasizing it with some contrast in color. So we've got a lot of monochromatic background with the greeting holding the focus. All right, so that was day 10. Day 11 is not a die, so it's another one of our goodies. It is on here. It says day 11. Oh, that's right. We set that one aside. So day 11 was this little embossing folder, which is kind of this geometric print, and some of the images are raised and some are sunken down. And so I used the fact that some of the images are raised and some are sunken down to do some inking technique. I die cut several of these so that I could piece them together how I wanted them to go. Die cut. It's not a die cut. I embossed these several pieces, and then that was just on white cardstock. And so then I just inked up. Didn't have to worry about over inking onto other areas. I just tried to hit the lower section of each of the triangles with the color I intended, because to get this black on there, I brayer rolled the black ink over the top of the raised sections. And if you do it slowly and carefully, now you can see I did get a couple of smudges down in the lower sections, but if you do it slow enough and carefully enough, it just hits that raised edge, covers up any of that inking that got over, and leaves a nice distinct pattern. I like to do this one with pigment ink because it is creamier and it spreads better and it's less likely to get smudges down in the grooves, and on and on. So I did do the base with dye ink and the raised up area with pigment ink, and then emphasized those color choices again with my greeting, and that was day 11. Day 12 was this cute drink set, and here's another one. This one is another favorite with the die. In fact, I said this was my favorite, but this one might be my favorite. So a lot of people were doing their drink cups with vellum, and yes, that was definitely my first thought. But my second thought was to do the inner insert part with vellum, which is the actual drink itself. So if I do that with vellum, that means I could do my cup with acetate, and then it looks more like an actual plastic cup because, you know, it is. So here is what I came up with for that day, and I've got the rim of my cup. Oh, I haven't cleaned up some of my overglue a little bit, so you do have to be careful with your glue on acetate and on vellum. And when I did this one, I have a longer video for this one because I did explain some of those things. So I will link you up in the corner and down below if you want to check that out, some tips and tricks for acetate and vellum. And here is that vase again, only I've turned it into carafes for a little happy birthday party. So that was day 12, which means we have day 13 up next. And that brings us, oh, okay, I'm doing it again. Day 18, day 11, day 12. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna remind ourselves, okay, some of this should remind me. So in fact, I'm thinking, there we go, day 13. My tags reminded me what I was missing. So day 13 was this stamp set, and it's a bunch of hello and thank you phrases in multiple languages, and I appreciate that very much because not only is it fun if we're basic English speakers, but it's also fun if you have friends or family who speak these other languages to get a message in, their native greeting, which is awesome. Okay, and that is where I came up with this tag. So again, repeat stamping, emphasizing that greeting with contrast, and also highlighting it with some extra embellishments so that it draws your eye more to that area. And then I definitely used colored stripes on an angle. I added that embossing folder to the side. And so that is the tag for day 13. And then this one must be day 14, which brings in our next tray. Ignore the future sneak peeks if you don't want to know already. So day 14 was this cute little French bulldog, and this was fun because I had seen another crafter do something interesting with the bee die, which was from a previous day. So the bee die was from day 6 and turned that bee into a mouse. So as soon as we got this bulldog, my brain started spinning, and I came up with ways to produce all these other animals with both the bee die and the bulldog die. So just using those 2 die sets, I came up with these 3 animals and these extra animals. So this is my tray of little leftover goodies that I've done as I've been creating and either rejected or whatever, like this one. This one I wasn't gentle enough with my inking and it got too smudgy, and I'm okay with that as a design element. However, it wasn't what I wanted for my tag, so I redid it. So back to the animals. I've got this cute little bear, a cute little raccoon, and this little caterpillar. This one was actually my daughter's idea, and I'm like, yes, got to do the caterpillar. So those ended up being super sweet. Now, these cutesy critters aren't really my style, but I did have fun making them. I really did. So my elephant looks a little dopey, but I thought getting an elephant out of these same sets was super fun. I'm thinking about maybe making that into a longer video because the shorts video does highlight each of the pieces that I used to create the characters, but it doesn't necessarily highlight what I had to do to alter those pieces to make the characters. Like these whiskers on the cat came from the bulldog stripes, and I did cut them shorter. That's not too hard of a stretch, but the trunk on the elephant came from the bulldog scarf, and you can't tell what that really looks like underneath. I keep calling him a bulldog. Yeah, he's a little French bulldog. That scarf turned into the trunk, and I just cut off the little bow piece there and added some pin work to create more of a trunk texture. So if you're interested in seeing more of how I created all these little guys, drop me a comment and let me know, because if you want that longer video, I can probably make it happen by the end of the month even, because I have a little bit of time after Christmas. All right, so that is the wrap-up of these tags for days 7 through 14. If you are new here and you don't already know, I have been making, let me grab it. All right, I found it. It took me a minute to kind of unbury it. I have been making these tags into these gift cards, and I am giving these away I am gifting these to my friends for Christmas presents. So I'm giving them the cards that I've made, and I already have the video showing making these cards, so I'll link that up as well. I am giving them a set of 6 cards along with envelopes and postage, I've included the butterfly stamps. These are a special stamp from the U.S. Post Office that allows for these thicker, lumpier, bumpier cards in case they need to hand cancel them, which means they don't go through the machines, and the lumpy, bumpy stuff often doesn't. That's called hand canceling. This butterfly stamp includes extra postage for the cost of that hand cancellation process. So it's not a gift unless it includes the postage, because that can be an issue. Stamps are not cheap these days, so it makes a very nice gift. I did make this gift box, and I was going to show the process. However, I'm not completely thrilled with my color palette here, and the spattering is a little bit messier than I intended. So I am going to create some new ones as I turn these into cards, and I've got two other batches to set aside and turn into cards as well. I will create new boxes, and then hopefully I can get to a video showing how to use these boxes. It'll be too late for Christmas time. However, it's great for a gift at any time. I'm also making gift sets as thank you gifts to some kind of coworkers. I'm a big volunteer, not really a paid for job. So some co-volunteers who worked on a big project with me, or I worked on a big project with them, and I'm going to send them thank you cards as well. So let me go ahead and wrap this video up, because I do want to record the next video of days 15 through today. Through today is the 21st. So if you would like to see that one will be out really soon. If you want to see the previous 7 days, I will link you up to that. And I will wrap up by saying thank you so much for being here, for watching. If you are new here, or if you've continued to watch my videos, I wouldn't be doing this if nobody was watching, because what's the point, right? Hopefully I have shared something that has inspired you in some way. And if you did find something helpful, useful, do give me a thumbs up and drop me a comment, because those two quick and easy free things really do go a long way in YouTube land to support my channel and get me out there to other YouTube crafters who need a little bit of inspiration. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Until then, have an artful day.